Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Transmog, and this is not going to be the rant video that you guys think it's going to be. It's actually going to be a look at all of the hunter armor and my recommendations for some pretty cool Transmog pieces. So if you are looking through your collection and trying to figure out what you want to transmog first when Season 14 comes out on Tuesday, this is the video for you. I'm also going to be noting in here which pieces you can get in the game currently and which ones you cannot. Some of these you'll have to already have in your collection, but I'm going to try to include some pieces that you can go out and get currently in case you just started playing Destiny. Also, I'm going to link a website, blueberries.gg, down in the description. They have the full armor sets for each class, and they have most of the gear sets in the game, or if they were previously in the game, on the website. So it's a great resource for looking at the full set all put together, because when you're in game and you're looking at the sets in your collection, you can only look at each piece one at a time. So it makes it hard to kind of envision the entire look. So if you want to look at a full gear set all together on one character, then go check out that site. All right guys, let's get into it. So as you guys know, Hunter is pretty much my main. It's the character that I enjoy playing on the most, so I wanted to go through Hunter. If you guys want to see the other classes as well, let me know down below and I'll give you my transmog picks for those classes too. Obviously, aesthetics and fashion in Destiny is subjective, so you guys aren't going to agree with everything that I say, all of my recommendations obviously. Also, Transmog is not out yet. It's coming in Season 14, so we don't know if there's going to be any restrictions on the pieces we can and can't transmog. First up, let's take a look at Cloaks for Hunter. We know this defines a lot of our look. It is our pizzazz, so let's take a look at the armor collection and see what we've got. So under leveling here at the bottom, we've actually got some whites and greens and blues. Now they said legendary and below, so I'm assuming that we're going to be able to transmog blues. Now greens and whites you can't shade, so I wouldn't recommend transmogging those. However, in the blue category, we've got the Outlander suit right here, and as you can see, the cloak is a little tinier. And if we go into the details, you're going to see it's like kind of like a little mesh cloak, and it's got a little triangle here in the back. I really like this look. It's very nice and clean. Now, if we go down to the shader and we actually put a darker shader on it, it actually looks pretty nice. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of like the simplistic look of this. It shades pretty well, and you're going to be able to get a nice solid color out of it. Now, moving over to endgame, we're actually going to go to the Legacy's Oath suit. This is the Deepstone Crypt cloak. I really like this one. It's pretty unique looking, and it's got a nice little holographic feather type of thing on the top there. It shades pretty well, but keep in mind that this red portion here on the back is always going to be red no matter what shader you put on it. So keep that in mind when you are matching up your colors and trying to go for a cohesive look with the rest of your armor. The other one I wanted to mention in this end game is the Shadow of Silence suit. This cloak right here, I believe this is from Crown of Sorrow raid, so you cannot get this one anymore. However, I really like the look of this cloak. It's nice and thick in the front around the neck area, so it's going to cover any weird gaps between your helmet and your chest depending on what you use, and it's got a cool pattern to it. It shades pretty well. It's a nice and simple shape, but it's got a cool pattern, which I like. Of course, you can't get that one anymore, so if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. And then moving on to our world section, I really like the Braytech suit cloak. I know a lot of people aren't going to like this one because it's a little weird, but I actually like it a lot. It's got kind of like a hooded look to it. I think it could be really cool with certain sets, but you definitely would have to build your look around it. But I think it shades really well, and I love the texture. Obviously, I wouldn't use it with the outfit that I have on right now, but I think it could look pretty cool. Another cool one is the Abhorrent Imperative cloak. Now this one you had to have played on Mars for Escalation Protocol to get this one. Same with the Braytech suit, that was the Mars armor. So if you weren't playing back then, you won't be able to get those two. The next one that I really love, and I'm sure everyone loves, is the Memory of Cade Cloak. This is a classic, and I really love the Carminica shader on here. It gives it kind of that nice fabric looking shader. I'm probably going to transmog this Memory of Cade Cloak just because it's Cade. What are you going to do, guys? Like, it's Cade. You have to, right? Cade 6 on the back with the spade. It looks super nice. And I feel like this is a classic that could go with everything. And then finally, up on the competitive tab, I wanted to show you guys an Iron Banner one. This is from a previous season again, but I really love this Iron Banner cloak. It's got the nice fur detail at the top, goes all the way around to the front, and it's got a nice little sheen on it as well. All right, guys, that's it for the cloaks. Let's head on over to the helmets. The first helmet I want to take a look at is under Endgame, the Bladesmith's Memory Suit. This is an old raid helmet, so if you weren't around for that, you may not have it in your collection, but I think it is a pretty cool looking helmet. It's nice and simple and sleek and goes well with a lot of different shaders. If you're looking for a helmet from a current season, if you just started playing, the Prefectus regular helmet for Hunter, not the ornament, is a pretty good looking one as well. That's pretty simple. You'll have to kind of fool around with the shaders a little bit to see which one looks the best, but there are some in there that shade pretty nice. One of the helmets I really like is this Prodigal mask. Now this is an old one as well, but it looks like a gas mask, and you can have it be kind of shiny or matte depending on the shader, and it looks really slick. The next one is the Woven Firesmith mask. This helmet is really cool. This is an old one as well. Sorry guys, but there are a lot of helmets to go through, so not everything is going to be available. This one is super cool. It shades really well and has a sleek look to it. The next one down here is the Opulent Stalker suit. This came from the Menagerie back in the day. If you picked this one up, this one's great if you're going for more of a unique look, and as you can see, the eyes actually change color depending on what shader you're using, so you can use that to match a really funky look. Next, we're going to take a look at the Illicit Reaper mask right here. This is from Reckoning back in the day, and I think this is really cool if you're going for a green look. The green in this mask does not change color, so you have to match it with some of your other pieces, but I think it's a really cool, unique mask and could work well with some outfits, also pairing that with some other pieces from that set. And then the last couple we're going to talk about are actually Iron Banner helmets as well. This Iron Fellowship casque is actually a great helmet. It has a nice, dark, sleek look, so it pairs pretty well with everything. Of course, you also want to keep in mind what other ornaments, universal ornaments you have and what you can mix and match with as well. And then we've got another Iron Banner helmet here. This one is super cool because it's got the teeth sticking out. I really like this helmet's look. If you put Jacarina on it, you can see we've got the gold teeth set on a matte black face, which I really like. I think that helmet could be a really cool one to transmog as well. All right, that is the helmets, and now we're going to move on to the arms. There are not that many arms actually for the Hunter that I am really that excited about, to be honest. So we're going to take a look at 4 or 5 of them. The first one we're going to take a look at is the Moonfang. Now this one you can currently get from the Prophecy Dungeon. These are the Moonfang arms. You can't really see the full look of the arms from the details page. It's a little difficult, so you're just going to have to use your imagination a little bit, but these arms shade pretty well. And I really love this Valkyrie Zero shader on them because it gives a dark, dark red. The next arms we're going to take a look at are the Prefectus scripts. These are from this season, so if you just started playing, these are a good one to keep in mind for Transmog. These are pretty simple and go with pretty much everything. On to the next, these Woven Firesmith grips, if you picked these up from the Forge, are pretty cool. I like the gear look to them. They've got a nice like mechanical look to them. They shade pretty cool as well. And I think they would work with kind of like a bulkier Hunter design since they do have this bigger shoulder on the side, but I think they look really nice. Then on to Gambit, we're also going to look at the Illicit Reaper arms, which could pair really cool with the helmet if you wanted to do the helmet as well. But as you can see, we've got kind of one arm that's got the bigger shoulder and the green snake all around it for the Gambit symbol, and the other one's a little simpler. I think those would add some nice flair to your custom look. And then last up, we've got an Iron Banner set of arms, these Iron Truage grips. These have kind of a bulkier look as well, kind of more of an armored look. And I think they could work well if you were going with that helmet from the same set. And that is it for the arms. Like I said, I wasn't too impressed with a lot of the Hunter arms. If you guys have any suggestions, please leave a comment down below and let me know. For the Hunter chest, we've got some interesting options. First up is going to be from this Outlander suit, the same set we pulled the cloak from. This is going to be the chest here. I think this one's actually really cool. It's hard to tell what the bottom of it looks like. It looks like it may be a little too bulky, but it shades pretty well. Let me show you guys cryptic insignia actually. This one looks really nice with the buckles, and it would be a nice transmog if you don't have a lot of these other pieces. I'm hoping in the transmog screen, we're going to be able to see the full outfit before we transmog anything, because in a lot of these detail screens, it's hard to see how the pants and the chest are going to work together. But moving on into endgame, we've got one chest here, the Bladesmith's memory suit. This chest piece is from an old raid, so if you don't have it in your collection, you can't get it, unfortunately. But this one is pretty cool as well. I like the waist piece of this. It's nice and simple. It doesn't have any like huge ammo packs or whatever those little packs are that they love to put on the Hunter chests. I also really like the black armory symbol as well on the front. Moonfang is also a great choice for a chest piece if you guys are looking for stuff that you can acquire now from the prophecy. Just keep in mind the top of this chest is a little weird. It can look a little plain going up into your helmet depending on what cloak you're wearing. So I would recommend a cloak that has something across the front here because it makes it look a little bit better. All right, on to the world tab here. I've got two of them, the Braytech and the Abhorrent Imperative. Of course, if you weren't playing there, you won't have them. These both come from Mars. This Braytech combat vest, I know it looks a little weird because of the shader, and it's a little hard to see how big this walkie-talkie is on the side there on the hip. However, I really like this chest piece. It's got that nice white flap, depending on what shader you're using, obviously, but it shades pretty well, and it's a pretty unique look. Like, people are going to be like, where did you get this? So I think that's a really cool one to have. The Abhorrent Imperative chest is also super unique and cool for Hunter as well. Let me show you guys some of the shaders on here. Raspberry is like one of my new favorite shaders. It does have some of those packs on the bottom, but I think they're kind of nice and simple so they don't make it look too obnoxious. Another world drop one is the Red Moon Phantom vest. If you guys were able to get this, I think last season it was dropping in the world loot pool. I'm not sure if it's still dropping in the world loot pool as it is sunset, but this one's got a nice simple look to it. It's got a little knife here at the bottom. This would go with a nice sleek overall look. And then last up in the world pool, we've also got the Icarus Drifter vest. I like that the little yellow, neon yellow at the top shows up. Of course, if you have a cloak where that's being covered, it'll be covered, but it's got the Hunter symbol on the front there and looks like down here on this leather strap, and it's got some straps going on with a zip up. I really like how that looks actually. And then this Iron Will vest I actually really like as well. And I like the Iron Banner symbol in the front that changes color depending on what shader you're using. I think it looks really nice. The waist piece looks really nice. It doesn't have a lot of the bags like I was talking about earlier. So depending on the shader, this could be a nice chest to use as well. And that's going to be it for the chest pieces that I'm looking at for Transmog. So let's take a look at the legs, and that's going to be it for the Hunter. First up, I wanted to show you guys in the leveling tab, we actually have this Shadow Spectre suit. These legs are super simple and they don't have anything on them really. So if you have these and these are available to be transmogged, you can actually turn them into just like leather pants. With this cryptic insignia shader, they are just straight up leather pants. So next up in endgame, there are a few here that you can currently get. The first one is the Deepstone Crypt Legacy's Oath Strides. These are the legs from the raid. I really like the look of these. I think that you would have to kind of build your look around them, but they're super awesome looking. And there's some cool shader options as well, so you have to play around with that. But I love the look of these legs. Next up is going to be Moonfang. You can get these from the Prophecy Dungeon currently, and you have some really cool shader options here. I love Valkyrie Zero. Gives you that really dark red on the side, but there's lots of other options as well. I think these are really nice slick looking legs with a nice armor piece on the one leg. And then last up in our endgame section here is boots of the Emperor's Agent. These are from Old Leviathan. I absolutely love these legs. Normally I don't really like the little two-toed outfits, the two-toed legs, but I really like these ones. You can get some really cool shading options here. Looking at Amethyst Veil, it makes it really dark, and then you get the nice pop of purple. These legs are really cool. They have kind of that neon effect. It actually animates as well, which is really nice. And then onto the world tab, we're actually going to look at the Abhorrent Imperative suit again. You guys can see a theme. This suit is a really cool one. These legs are really unique. I think they have a really cool look to them. I love the icon on there and kind of the bottom part where it's like kind of mechanical, and they look really nice. I feel like they would fit with a lot of different looks. And then up in our competitive tab, I wanted to show you guys the Iron Banner one as well. Iron Treasure boots. These ones are really cool, and depending on your look, if you're going for more of that like armor plated look, these ones are really nice. I'm actually wearing them right now on my character with the Rustberry shader. And then an honorable mention for legs here is the Strides of the Great Hunt. These are from Last Wish, I believe, so you should be able to still get these. But putting Valkyrie Zero on here gives them a nice dark look to them. I really like how these look. You've got the nice little knives on the sides, and I love how this top section looks. I don't know quite how I feel about the boots, but the top section looks really nice. So those get an honorable mention from me. Alright guys, I'm sure this video ran long enough for you guys. I appreciate if you sat through the whole thing, but that is what I'm looking at for my transmog for Hunter. I don't know which pieces I'm going to do yet. As you know, we can only do 2 sets this first season and then only 1 set per season after that, and there is a cap unless you want to spend silver. Let me know in the comments below which pieces you're going to do, especially if I didn't mention them here, because I'm always interested in taking a look at that Destiny fashion. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.